More companies opening up their books to investors today. You got Intel, a Dow component, Starbucks. Those are going to be the headliners after the bell. This is actually shaping up, folks, to be a pretty strong earnings season. 76% of S&P 500 companies have beat estimates so far that have reported. Can these upbeat earnings overcome all this worry about a slowing global growth story? Is the IMF, are they wrong? Let's bring in Jason Barsema of Halo Investing. Good old-fashioned numbers, Jason. Is that what we need to be watching? Because despite the Stanley Black & Decker news, overall, the story's been pretty positive so far this week for these companies.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having me. I'm still focused on the used tissue story. I'm excited to hear that, but getting back to earnings. Earnings have been pretty good. You know, revenues have been not as stellar as they were, in 2018, but bottom line earnings were pretty good. I think I'd like to focus more on Procter & Gamble and Kimberly-Clark, right? So I think that those were two really good stories because one has the sign of, or they both had the sign of the consumer, but one has the beauty line business, which Procter & Gamble has, and that really drove earnings yesterday, where Kimberly-Clark doesn't, which kind of leaves you both comparing the different consumer products of diapers and razor blades and other things of that nature, and that wasn't so good, which might kind of give you a sneak preview of what's to come with consumer spending.
So does that worry you then? I mean, because you've got two different stories you're comparing here. Are you worried about the consumer? I mean, we were talking about this earlier. You start talking about a recession, you're talking about the bottom falling out of the world, and then people start to believe it and pull back on spending. And then a lot of these CEOs in Davos, Jason, are telling us things are pretty good. They're kind of rebuffing this global slowdown talk.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you want to take a top-down meets bottom-up approach, right? So when you look at bottoms-up from an earnings and company perspective, things aren't that bad, but I'm a big believer that the top-down always ends up driving everything, which is the global macro picture. You were just talking about Europe and a mental recession, and you look at German numbers that literally just came out 30 minutes ago were suboptimal, to say the least, and they're going to continue to be suboptimal as the China-U.S. trade war tensions come to play. So earnings are pretty good. It's just, I think now is a time where people should be looking at active management versus passive management, because the good companies will outperform the broader index.
That's a good point. I think people should actually heed that advice. Really quick, we're going to be hearing from a lot of the big airlines this morning, American, JetBlue. But after the bell, it's going to be all about Intel and Starbucks. Of course, Intel, a Dow component. Starbucks might be a sign about the global economy. What are you looking for?
Yeah, so I've really been focusing more on Intel. And when you look at Intel, I think that clearly there could be a slowdown in smartphones and some of the other tablet-like products. But Intel's kind of been this stalwart where their other peers haven't been doing so well, at least compared to them. And they have a really unique play on the automotive industry and AI. So I would like to have Intel or see Intel do pretty well after the bell. Starbucks, everyone's still drinking their coffee. So I think China will be the biggest focus with Starbucks and kind of how the store growth shakes out.
They've done a lot of expansion in China. You're right. And that could be a part of the bottom line. But again, that global story. And Bristol Myers, we're talking about healthcare this morning. There's a lot coming out today, Jason. This could change the game. We hope it does. Jason Barsema. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.